In Israel and beyond, a day of mourning on the anniversary of the October 7th Hamas terrorist attack that left 1,200 people dead and sparked a war that has killed tens of thousands in Gaza. Here's Raf Sanchez.
As the sun rose, Israel stopped to remember. A nation still reeling in grief, thousands gathering at the site of the Nova Music Festival at 6:29 a.m., 1 year to the minute that the terror attack began.
This is the last track that played at the festival before the music stopped and the shooting started.
Of the 1,200 people massacred by Hamas on October 7th, nearly a third were killed here, executed on the festival grounds or gunned down trying to escape. We first visited the Nova site 5 days after the attack. Scattered belongings, the debris of lives cut short.
This was a place of music, a place of joy, a place of dancing, and now there is just a deathly silence here.
1 year later, Noah Yafi returning to the place where her little brother Binyahu was murdered. A musician with big dreams, he was killed weeks before his 23rd birthday.
If you could speak to your brother, what would you tell him?
That I love him and I miss him so much. I just want to hug him and listen to his voice again.
Amid the bloodshed, 251 people taken hostage, men, women, and children. 101 remain in captivity, including 7 Americans. The youngest hostages, Kafir Bibas, 9 months old on October 7th, and his 4-year-old brother Ariel, unaccounted for, their fate unknown. Israel fighting back against not just Hamas in Gaza, but also Hezbollah in Lebanon and their backers, Iran. The U.S. supplying Israel with weapons, but also trying and failing to secure a ceasefire. The war that started on October 7th now a deadly regional conflict. In Gaza today, no memorials. Palestinian families just hoping to survive. In Israel's effort to destroy Hamas, it's killed 41,000 Gazans, according to the Hamas-run health ministry. Almost half of them, children. Manal Abu Hatter is responsible for her 8 grandkids. Their fathers, her 2 sons, were both killed in an Israeli strike. I cannot bear their loss, she says. But setting her own grief aside to care for children trapped in a year-long war that feels like it may never end.
And Raf, we understand the sirens have been going off in Israel throughout the day.
That's right, Lester. The Israeli military says it intercepted rockets and missiles fired from Gaza, Lebanon, and Yemen today. No one was killed here, but it underscores just how widespread this conflict has become. Lester.
All right, Raf Sanchez, thank you. The anniversary met with remembrance and rage in the U.S., with pro-Israel and pro-Palestinian demonstrators marking the attack and the deadly war it sparked in Gaza. Stephanie Gosk has our report.
Demonstrations growing tonight on the anniversary of the October 7th attacks, fueling familiar tensions across the country, especially at Columbia University.
How do you feel with this demonstration going on here on campus today?
I feel unsafe as a Jew.
We are a group of people just supporting and mourning the loss of lives taken. That's all we want to do is to mourn.
Pro-Palestinian demonstrators, many with faces covered, calling for an end to the war.
People are dying. We're doing nothing about it.
Outside the gates, pro-Israel demonstrators waved flags and prayed for the hostages amid heightened security. First-year grad student Sarah Kashani says she considered not studying at Columbia.
It's hard as a proud Jew and a proud Zionist to commit to a school that doesn't value you as a person.
While for many today was a day of remembrance, recognized by President Biden with a candle-lighting ceremony in the White House, nationwide universities have been bracing for protests at USC and the University of Maryland.
On this day in particular, it's very difficult for the Jewish community.
This is our chance to make sure that our campus community is actually aware of what's happening in Palestine.
In the last year, schools have struggled balancing freedom of speech and safety on campus. University presidents testified on Capitol Hill.
I'll be the first to admit our existing rules and policies are falling short.
The clashes at colleges reflecting growing anti-Semitism and Islamophobia in the country. more than 10,000 anti-Semitic incidents in the last year, and a 69% increase in complaints about Islamophobia.
Tonight, there are dueling protests in New York, including here in Times Square. There's a large police presence, and they've set up barricades to prevent confrontation. Lester?
All right, Stephanie Gosk tonight. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.